Welcome back to the Anxiety Slayer podcast. Today, Ananga and I are sharing tips on how you can calm your nervous system during darker days and challenging times. We also share a relaxing guided practice to regain calm, confidence, and clarity. We're going to start today by addressing a question from a member of our private Facebook group. And if you're not already a member, you're welcome to join us there. All you have to do is search for Anxiety Slayer in the Facebook search bar. You'll find a page and a group. Just go to the group and ask to join us, and we'd love to have you. Welcome back, Ananga.
Hey, Shan.
I'm glad we're going to be talking about creating calm when everything feels too much.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're hearing so much. And the question that came in says, the current state of the world weighs on my mind, chest, shoulders, and emotion, and it's getting freezing and dark outside. Do you have any Ayurvedic remedies for immune support and getting through times like this? I need balance and calm.
I think this is a particularly challenging time with what's going on in the world. We have that burden that we're feeling. And also this time of year, we've turned towards the light in the northern hemisphere, but we're not there yet. And there's that saying, isn't there, that it's always darkest before the dawn. I think that these final weeks of winter, we feel its effect has really crept in, that loss of light. So yeah, a really good time to turn to self-care and a good time to look at some natural ways to support ourselves. And of course, Ayurveda has some lovely, gentle and easy and affordable ways to do that.
The anchor there, because we all like to do things that are easy, and these truly are. And starting with keeping warm. And when you do go outside, put a bit of sesame oil in your ears, wear a hat or scarf to protect your ears from the wind, and keep your head warm when you go outside. Warming can't be overrated. I found that the more I do that, the more I just oil up. I got a brand new hat that I love, and get my scarf around, and that way doing the daily errands or running to the grocery store or the post office, I'm still feeling warmer than I would. It's amazing how different you feel without a hat versus with one in the winter. There's so much warmth leaves from your head.
Yeah.
And I know that's simple, and again, back to that easy thing, and you might say, I don't like wearing hats or it'll mess up my hair or whatever. Wear a hat.
Super important to protect our ears. Vata, that we often speak about on the podcast, the energy of air and ether, this light energy, it lives in the spaces in our bodies. So we need to protect our ears. Our ears are a space. So put oil there, put oil in your belly button, put oil up your nose, put oil in the spaces of the body. It sounds maybe a bit unusual, but it's very good for the nervous system. It's very good for the immune system to put oil up your nose. It acts as a barrier from incoming particulate matter or whatever's in the air. It acts as a barrier. Several friends I have who have mothers who would tell them, mothers from India who would tell them, don't go on the trains in London without putting Vaseline around your nose.
Well, and with everything that's going on with all the different versions of COVID and being wintertime in the Northern Hemisphere, it's a good addition. It's an additional barrier.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It's a good thing to do, and also good in the hay fever season to trap pollen.
And again, it's just kind of a swab. It's not like you're dripping, you have oil dripping out of your nose and ears.
I have a friend who does regularly. She was suffering greatly with her nerves some years ago, and she was recommended to put oil in her nose and ears, and she would drip. She'd come walking over to me dripping and say, it's wonderful, it's helping so much. Out of everything I've tried, this is helping the most. And she would really douse herself in oil and really relished it. And it helped her greatly. Whatever's comfortable. You can just dip your little finger or a cotton swab in some oil and apply it to your ears and your nose.
Yeah, it's really nice, and just make it a part of your self-care practice. Inhaling steam is also helpful. With just a couple of drops of essential oil, like lavender oil, that's really nice for calming your mind. And if you have remnants of a cold, it will help clear it. I also find that frankincense is a lovely addition to my diffuser this time of year. I love it all the time, but this time of year for relaxation and peace and overall wellness, when I get my massages, I have my practitioner put frankincense oil right in the carrier oil when I get the hot stone massages, which is something we'll talk about later. But the immune support and the relaxation combined is so helpful. I remember I was stuffed up a couple of years ago and you had me get some thyme oil.
Yeah.
And I put a couple of drops of that and inhaled the steam, and it worked wonders.
Yeah, thyme's a really good thing to diffuse into your room in cold and flu season.
And then also, more Ayurvedic tips: sip warm tea, warm ginger teas. Right now, I have a mug of cinnamon tea, 3 cinnamon tea from Pukka that I really like, and sometimes I'll even add ginger to the cinnamon. I like the two together.
Yeah, me too. This time of year, I use a lot of ginger. Yeah, Pukka have 3 ginger tea for convenience. They have a revitalized tea, which I like. Sometimes that's my morning tea. It used to be called kapha tea, so it's very good for cleansing, clearing, uplifting the mind and the senses. Really nice.
Is that the one with cardamom and cinnamon and ginger?
Yeah, and it has a little mint in it, which sounds like a funny combination, but works
Oh, I didn't know that.
very nicely.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I have that as well. So let's talk about additional calm and support during this wild ride on planet Earth right now. And it seems as if we can't move through an episode without bringing up Bach flower remedies because they're so helpful. And why is elm a good choice for calm and support right now?
Elm's always very good for when we feel overwhelmed, and I think that's what's going on a lot at the moment for many of us. We feel overwhelmed. We get that feeling like, oh, it's just too much. I need a bit of hope, a bit of support. So if we feel that we're just too ground down to find our feet, or we're just not quite feeling like our usual self, it's a great remedy if we're going through a loss of confidence or a loss of buoyancy. Or we might feel that we're just burdened, there's too much on our shoulders. Elm is a great remedy for that, very supportive.
And we get a lot of questions about how to take it and concerns about taking too much. And because the Bach flowers are so gentle, you only need a few drops in a glass of water and to sip on. And it's okay to have an additional glass and some more drops. And you can't have too much. I'm grateful for my collection of Bach flower remedies.
Me too. As the years go by, I just love them more and more, and I have more and more faith in them.
And you feel so much more empowered. Everything that we're sharing today is empowering. When everything feels too much, when you're overwhelmed, to know that there's just these simple, easy choices you can make. And then they add up and you start to feel so much better.
Yeah, that's what I love most about Ayurveda, is it's so empowering and hopeful and proactive. There's always something we can do, always. From a choice in a cup of tea, to our diet, to our attitude, the way we're facing the day, our lifestyle. There's always something we can do, something to bring hope and something to turn our health in the right direction.
Bringing light in this time of year is important, with candles or fairy lights or a warming fire. You might have those seasonal disorder lamps or lights, any kind of light. We have these wonderful battery-powered candles that we put in all the windows in the holiday time. And they last, I don't know, I guess right through the spring, right to when spring starts. And it's such a nice bit of light all around the house at night. So if I don't have a candle burning, I have that happening. I have fairy lights year round in my office. I just like them. And then of course I burn more candles than humanly possible, it seems. But but that light and having a warming fire, whether it's an electric fireplace or a wood fireplace, or even if you can put one of those screens up that shows a fire and that you can hear the fire while you're snuggled up, it really does make a difference. The light is everything this time of year.
Yeah, whatever brings the sense of light into the mind is what we need. So whatever brings us that memory or comfort, or, I think I've shared before, I used to have, it's quite a funny experiment I did. I had this DVD called Light the Box, and it was a DVD of different fireplaces.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to have a screen on our wall, and I used to put it on there and sit with a cup of tea and a blanket and thoroughly enjoy it. It's completely nothing giving off any warmth or anything, but to my mind, it just had that energy of light.
And now the way they make them, that you can hear it crackling and popping and all of that.
Yeah, this one crackled.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever does it for you, whatever brings some peace and light to your mind, even if it's a bit quirky. My daughter was missing the bird song that we have here in the spring and summer, so she just went on Spotify and found loads of bird tracks, just bird song.
Mm-hmm.
So she's been listening to those while she's been painting through her headphones. It makes her feel happy.
I love listening to piano music right this time of year. I mean, I love it all the time. I love your music very much, Ananga. But listening to calming piano music is so nice to start the day. I'll sometimes just put my headphones on and listen, and it's just like a little spring in your step, a little sweetness to start the day. And of course, guided relaxations will help as well, soothe your nervous system. And you can carve out time to do those and not have to do a thing other than receive.
And again, these things all sound so simple. But Chinese medicine teaches that when we're stressed, we clench. We might notice we're clenching our jaw or our shoulders, but we can clench our entire being without always being aware of it. We tend to clench up, push through, and it causes stagnation, which increases stress further, it increases anxiety, and it affects our immune system. We're using a lot of energy in, resistance, pushing through, just holding ourselves. It's so easy if you look at your body during the day, just check in and do a body scan during the day. Very often you'll see that you're really holding yourself. So anything we can do to let go and not tense up is incredibly helpful, and all of these things help with that. So that also helps our immune system because our natural energy is circulating freely and doing what it's meant to do.
And sometimes it's just a matter of standing up and bouncing on the balls of your feet,
mm-hmm.
or doing the temple gong where you stand in like horse position. So you're standing with your feet, hips width distance apart, your knees are slightly bent, and then you're just letting your arms flail from one
mm-hmm.
side to the next without any control over them, kind of like a little kid would do.
Yeah.
And just moving the energy through your body.
That's one of my favorites.
I love it too.
Yeah, it really helps my shoulders and it just frees everything up. Yeah, so easy.
And we've already talked about oil massage and the importance of that before a warm bath or shower. Make time for it. Make it a treat. It doesn't have to be something you do every day, but even if you were to do it once a week, to have that special treat. And because right now, this time of year, the air is very drying, and your body will just love having that oil rubbed on. And it's just, it moves the energy, moves stagnation. And if you can, and you're comfortable doing so, schedule a time for a hot stone massage or a shiatsu session or an acupuncture session. It's what you're comfortable with right now. But if you are, that'll make all the difference as well. We're going to segue now into a guided relaxation to regain calm, clarity, and confidence. All you need is about 5 minutes, and this is a practice that you can use anytime when you're feeling overwhelmed, a bit jangly, and just want to calm your nervous system. To begin, make yourself as comfortable as possible. And when you're ready, close your eyes, if it's safe for you to do so, and bring your awareness to whatever is going on for you right now. Give the weight of your body up to gravity. Just let it sink in. The weight of your body will sink into the points of contact between your body and the floor, or the chair you're sitting in, or the bed you're lying on. What sensations are there right now? If you notice any tension or resistance towards painful or unpleasant sensations, gently turn your breath toward them and picture your body softening and completely supported. Notice any thoughts as they rise and pass through the mind. See if you can let them come and go. Now allow your awareness to gather around the experience of the breath deep in your body. Drop your awareness inside the breath and feel the different sensations in the front, back, and sides of your chest and belly. Can you feel your awareness within the flow and movement of the breath? Use the breath to anchor your awareness in the present moment, breathing in the body, noticing each inhale and exhale again and again. Each time you notice your mind has wandered, gently guide the mind back to your breath. Now gently expand your awareness to include your whole body. Feel the weight and shape of the body as it sits, stands, or lies. If you've got any pain or discomfort, make sure your awareness stays open. Cultivate acceptance and acknowledgement for all of your experience. Befriend it. Use the breath to anchor your awareness in the present moment, breathing in the body, noticing each inhale and exhale again and again. Thanks for listening to Anxiety Slayer. Join us next week for a conversation with Dr. Michelle Cambolis, where we discuss everyday practices to strengthen your mind, body, and soul. In the meantime, if you want to learn more about Ayurveda, you're welcome to continue on our Patreon, where you can get a deeper dive into some of the topics we cover, as well as over 100 downloads, including our guided relaxations, just for supporting our show. Learn more at patreon.com/anxietyslayer.